Leveling up. Extreme business growth through raising your game. When what was once extraordinary becomes ordinary, you know you've leveled up.
Hi, I'm George Swift and welcome to the Leveling Up Podcast. The Leveling Up Podcast is here to give you the personal development, the entrepreneurial development and the business growth that you, the ambitious business owner, desires. I'm here to give you the inspiration and motivation, but above all else, as always, to challenge your aspirations to take you and your business to the next level. Don't forget, subscribe and never miss an episode. Maintenance is easier than growth. Today we're going to be talking about why you need to put the energy in now. And if you're feeling tired already and you're thinking, oh my God, it's too exhausting, it's too much energy, it's too much effort to grow this business, I can keep it up for a bit of time, but I can't keep it up forever. The good news is you don't have to keep it up forever. However, if you don't accept the challenge to grow your business to a decent level, you could be destined to struggle for all time. And I don't want that for you. You don't deserve it. You deserve better. You've put so much on the line. You've worked hard already. You've made the sacrifices. You've taken on the risks. Now let's get you the reward that you deserve. Regardless of whether you're trying to build a business empire or whether you're trying to build a lifestyle business, you need to have a degree of success before that becomes possible. So if your business now, and let's say you're just doing 20, 30, 40K, maybe even 50 or 60K, I generically say you want to get to a minimum of like 100K or so before you want to ease off, okay? Because 100K plus is when you can start to either reinvest in your business and take your business to the next level or start to scale that business. Or if you want to build that lifestyle from 100K, you can use the money to invest back in the business to buy you time back, to buy you the quality of life that you want to have. So regardless of whether you're empire building or lifestyle building, my challenge to you is always take your business to 100K plus. Now, you might be listening to this already doing more than 100K, in which case you've got the opportunity now to reinvest in your business and take your business to the next level and scale that business, or you can use that money to continue to grow your business into the business you need to be so you can have the quality of life that you want to have. So regardless of where you are currently on your current business journey, the challenge really is to instill number one, a desire to take your business to the next level. And number two, to take away any fears that you might have that the exhaustion or the tiredness that you're feeling right now will continue for eternity whilst you have this business. So let's say the energy it takes to grow a business to 100K, or if you're already doing 100K, the energy it took to get you where you are is not the same amount of energy that's needed to maintain what you've got. So if you want to take your business from 50K to 100K, it's going to take you a lot more energy to get your business to 100K than it is to maintain your business at 100K. And if you're going from 100K to 200K or $250,000, it's going to take a lot more energy to grow your business to $250,000 than it is to maintain a business at $1 million. And it's exactly the same all the way up. The energy it takes to grow a business to $1 million or $2 million or $3 million is way more than the energy it takes to maintain a business at $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. Now, what this means is that the fatigue you might be feeling, or the challenge you might be feeling, or the discomfort that you might be feeling is actually only temporary. But it's only temporary if you get yourself to a viable level. Now, it's going to vary for individual and it's going to vary based on your ambition and your own desires. But fundamentally, you've got to get your business to a decent size where it's viable to give you back what you want to get back. And it's viable where it becomes self-sufficient and it becomes stable. And the analogy I share is that of an aircraft taking off. And if you're a small business and you're just bobbing along trying to take off but not quite taking off, let's say you're in your first, 10 or 20K or so and you can't really get much more than that, then it's like you're overloading. The plane's just bouncing along the tarmac. You get a little bit of air for just a moment and then you're bouncing back off that runway again. It's very unpleasant, very uncomfortable, and you're not really getting going. Let's say you take your business to 30, 40, 50K. So now you might be getting by. You might have replaced your salary at least, and you're kind of doing okay. But there's a lot of pressure still on you in that business, and you're there bouncing across the treetops, and you're always at risk that any moment, if something happens, you're going to end up crashing into those trees. The safest place to be in a plane is the safest place it is in business. And that is, you want to take to the skies, you want to soar nice and high above all of those risks. But I get it, if you've been bouncing along the runway for a year, 2 years, 3 years, it's exhausting. If you're there just skimming the tops of the trees and occasionally clipping one, that's also exhausting. And I know if you've tried to grow your business, or in the process of growing your business, you're pulling back on that control column, I know that also can be exhausting. But I want you to know, just like an aircraft, it's at most risk bouncing along the runway. It's at high risk just skimming the treetops. It's safest when it's high up in the sky. At 40,000 feet, the air is thinner. There's a long way to fall before you're at any real risk. You've got time on your side to make adjustments, because you're not going to make one small error and crash into a tree or crash into a house or crash into the tarmac. You've got time on your side. The air is thinner. You're burning less fuel up there. It's calmer. It's quieter. It's much more peaceful. Now, of course, it's not going to be as easy as that always, and you still have challenges at that level. And the businesses that I work with who are doing millions and multiple millions, it's not like all their problems have suddenly gone away. But I want to share something with you that is known by all businesses once they get to a certain size. The air is clearer high up in the sky. So getting a plane off the ground up to 35, 40,000 feet takes a lot of energy, a lot of fuel, a lot of burn. If you sat in a plane recently, it's noisy. You can feel the juddering sometimes through the plane. Everyone's strapped in. But then once you get up to cruising altitude, you can unbuckle, you can walk around, you can relax, it's quieter. The engines are barely burning any fuel in comparison to what it took to get up there. And it's like that in business. It's a good analogy, not just business, by the way, in so many different areas of life. I always remember a friend of mine who was into bodybuilding and keep fit. And this guy had an unbelievable physique. And I remember before he went into competitive bodybuilding, he was kind of chilling a little bit in the gym. And yet he had this incredible physique, 6-pack, big arms, big shoulders, strong, physically strong guy. If I dare say it, a beautiful guy. And I always remember saying to him, how much do you train? How much do you train to get this? How much do you train? How much work goes into a body like that? And he told me something which really shook me, actually. And that was, he said, probably I train about 3 or 4 times a week. I'm like, wow, okay. Thinking must be for hours. He said, probably, I don't know, 30 to 40, maybe 45 minutes a session. And I remember thinking, like, geez, that's what I'm doing. That's how I train, 3 or 4 times a week, half an hour to 45 minutes. I'm doing that. Look at the state of me. I'm a blob in comparison to you. The difference was, I knew this guy for many years, right? And the years leading up to that time, this guy was in the gym for hours a day, maybe 5 days a week. He lived it, he breathed it, it consumed him. It broke up many relationships. It put his career on hold to some degree. It was the number one thing in his life was training. And here's the lesson that I took from that. If I want to have the body that this guy had, and I'll be honest with you, I would love to have the body this guy's got. I have to not do the work he does now. I have to put in the work that he put in to get there. And when you read a book like The 4-Hour Workweek, for example, and you buy it for the cover, the illusion is that I can build a successful life and a successful business on 4 hours a week. Well, it's not true. And if you read the book, he's not saying actually that's true. You have to build the business to be able to do a 4-hour work week. I've got a bit of a problem with the book. I'm not going to get into it with you right now. Yes, I will. Fuck it. The problem I have with the book is it's a bit like the 2-minute diet plan. The people that are buying the book are lazy fuckers, and therefore it's never going to work for them, even if it works for them. Does this make sense? It's like if I'm sitting there and I'm selling you a product that says, hey, are you super fat and super lazy? Take my super fat, super lazy diet pill that is proven to work 100%. Even if that diet pill works, that diet pill being an exercise plan, a regime or routine, a way of eating, the fact I'm selling it to fat old lazy people means it isn't going to work because they're not going to implement it. So my problem with the book is it's deliberately being sold to people who want to be lazy, that want to make their life run on 4 hours a week and blah, blah, blah. And therefore, the very nature of the people that are buying that book means they won't implement it, even if the strategies were solid, in which case it isn't going to work for them. There you go. I've said it. Okay, getting back on track to this episode's agenda. So the energy it takes to achieve something is far less than the energy it takes to maintain something. This friend of mine that put in hours a day, 5 days a week plus, consumed his entire life for many, many years, meant that he kept the majority of that physique and the majority of those gains on as little as 3 or 4 sessions a week, training for 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Most of us, we're out there right now. We're training maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 3-4 times a week. I can promise you, you almost certainly don't look like this guy. Because what got him to where he is now is not what keeps what he's got now. And the positive message that we can take from this is that actually, whilst it might be tiring and exhausting now, just like it was for him in the gym, whilst our businesses might be all-encompassing and time-consuming, just like his training was in the gym, when we get there, wherever there is for us, and we start to level out, it will be easier. And other people will look at you. They're like, how hard do you work? And you say, well, I work pretty hard. You know, I do 5 days a week and I'll probably put in a good 30, 40 hours a week. They'll be looking at you with a business that's a fraction of the size of your business. They'll be doing 60, 70, 80 hours a week and they'll be like, oh my God, it's so unfair. Look what you've got. Look what you've got. It's so easy for you. Just like some people look at this guy and they see him in the gym probably doing his 30, 40-minute workout thinking, oh, it must be genetics. He must be gifted. He's so lucky and I'm so unlucky because I'm doing the same as him, but I'm not getting the same result. Because you're not doing what he did in order to get to where he is right now. It's the same as you look at a business owner that's doing £1 million, £5 million, £10 million, maybe one that's sitting on the beach doing a couple of hours a week and running £1 million business. That's not how he created that business. The 4-hour work week, you're not going to create a 4-hour work week working 4 hours a week. You're going to have to work much harder to create the 4-hour work week, even if it's possible to obtain. So in our businesses, yes, you can maintain a business relatively easily, but at what level are you maintaining your business? You see, if you're maintaining your business at 20K, I'm telling you now, that's not easy. I mean, it's comfortable maybe. You might not be killing yourself at 20K. Compared to if you start trying to pull back and go from 20K to 40K, it might be more tiring, more challenging, more exhausting. You might have to make more sacrifices. So it's easier in comparison to that, but it's not comfortable bouncing around the tarmac. Even 30, 40, 50K for most people, it's not comfortable. It doesn't take much. You lose a client or you lose a couple of clients or something changes in the economy. And suddenly, you know, you've gone from 50K down to 20, 30K in revenue. And now suddenly you're bouncing off the tarmac with the other guys and it's not comfortable there. But it might feel easier bouncing around at 50K than trying to grow to 100K, because when you pull back on that control column and start to climb, it all gets a bit noisy, a bit frantic. It's going to take more energy, more time, more effort, more input. There's more challenges. There is for sure, always. And it feels like, oh my God, there's no point going to 100K because look at this. Going from 50 to 60 is miserable. Can you imagine what 100K is going to be like? But someone else might be thinking at 20 or 30K, oh my God, going from 20K to 30K, look how hard, look how miserable this is. Imagine what 50K is going to be like. And then someone doing 100K, trying to climb to 200K or 250K, they'll be like, oh my God, it's so exhausting going from 100 to 150. Can you imagine what $250,000 is going to feel like? And at $250,000, you're thinking, imagine what $1 million's going to be. If getting from $250,000 to $500,000 is this exhausting, $1 million must be, oh God, so much more exhausting. And at $1 million, you're thinking $5 million, $5 million, $100 million, $100 million, $1 billion. Do you have a sense? The climb is where the energy is. The climb is where the input is. That's when you're burning fuel. But I don't want you to hang out at 20K or 30K. And if you're not happy at 50K, I don't want you hanging out at 50K. And you know, if you're happy at 100, then that's fine. You have to continue to put a little bit of back pressure on the column. You want to grow your business from 100 to 110 each year, from 110 to 120. I say if you're not doing 10% growth, the chances are you're going to be poorer over time because of inflation and et cetera, et cetera. So I say if you're hitting 100K, at minimum, let's go for 20% growth year on year, right? At an absolute minimum, 10%, right? Absolute minimum. But really, you want to be doing a minimum of 10 to 20% growth to maintain, right? It's the idea that the plane is constantly kind of falling out the sky. It still needs a little bit of energy and a little bit of back pressure in order to keep the plane up there. Does this make sense? It's the same thing with your business. You know, you can't just sit there, kill all the engines and let the control column go because gravity will take over and it will pull your plane down, right? So you're never going to have an easy ride as in a completely free ride. But trust me, when you get to that 100K, it's much easier to maintain that 100K. But if you're only maintaining 100K, you're still being pulled by gravity, by inflation, etc. You are effectively becoming poorer. So you constantly want to climb a little bit. But trust me, climbing from 100 to 110, that's not a lot of effort, not compared to what it takes to go from 50 to 100. So if you do 50 to 100 in a year, which is really possible, and the challenge that I set every single one of my businesses at that level, if you go from 50 to 100 in a year, let's say you even take 2 years to go from 50 to 100, then going from 100 to 110 in a year is pretty easy in comparison. So you set out your stall, you set your own target. I'm here to say to business owners, I think you want to be thinking a minimum of 100K. That's working the assumption it's just like you and maybe one other person in the business, or maybe you and you want to hire a couple of people to take some of that workload off you so you can have that lifestyle. At about 100K for most small service-based businesses is where it starts to get possible. If you're a product company, it will vary. If you have premises, it will vary, etc., etc. But fundamentally, it's your business, it's your life. You get to set your target where you want to set your target, but just don't allow the struggle that you felt so far in business to limit what you believe you could or should achieve in the future. One of the things we do with all of our members when they first join is we put them on a goal setting program that starts with infinite thinking, and then we slowly squeeze that possibility into a set of goals that they can then turn into actuality. And our businesses are growing. They're continually growing. That's what we do. Everything we do is about growing your business. However, behind the scenes, what it's really about is supporting you to continue your journey in entrepreneurism, to continue the growth of your business, the growth of yourself, to create the quality of the life that you want to have. And for some of our members, that quality of life is going to come from building an empire, building a small fortune. And for other members, it's about building a really beautiful business that delivers them what they need. Whether that's 60K, 70K, 100K, or whether that's $250,000, $1 million or beyond. Wherever you are right now in your own business journey, if it feels tough and feels exhausting, it's going to manipulate you to potentially start to level off a little bit too soon. Like the aircraft that starts to level off at 10,000 feet, when it'd be far safer at 35 or 40,000 feet. Or the aircraft that levels off at 2,000 feet, where it's at real risk of hitting everything around it. So just because it feels hard now trying to grow your business, just because it might have taken a lot of energy to get from 10 to 20, 20 to 40 or 50, yes, it will continue to be hard to get from 50 to 100. But when you get to 100, if you want to maintain 100, you can level off, just like my friend. You can do it in far less energy and you can do it with far less sacrifice. But you have to put in the work now in order to get to the opportunity where you get to level off. For me, growth is exciting, it's exhilarating, it's addictive. Most businesses, when they hit that 100K plus, they don't want to back off. By the time they've hit that 100K, they've developed the conditioning, they get the excitement they want for their business. They're addicted to that growth in all the right positive ways. But fundamentally, my message here today is this: maintenance is easier than growth. The flip side of that is growth is much harder than maintenance. And therefore, if you want to achieve that lifestyle, if you want to achieve that success, if you want to achieve the quality of life that is available to you as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, then you have to put the work in now, do the growth, put the energy in the climb, but know that whilst it might feel tiring and exhausting, challenging, you might feel like you want to give up, when the urge hits you to level off or to even go back down a level or two where it felt easier, understand that the clean air is waiting for you. The clear air is waiting for you. You level off up there, it's much safer, it's much better for you, there's a much better quality of life for you up there, and you will not have to work anywhere near as hard as you did to get there. Regardless of where you are right now, 10K, starting out, 50K, 100K, $500,000, the energy that got you where you are now is not the energy it requires to maintain what you've got. And the energy it will take to get you to the next level is not the same as the energy that will maintain that new level. You get to choose what level, what altitude you iron out. I'm here to support business growth. I'm here to back the person that wants to grow their business, that wants to take themselves and their business to the next level. So I'm always going to be pushing for growth, always going to be pushing for success, always going to be pushing to level up you, the individual, the business owner, and obviously to level up your business. Nice one. Thanks for listening. Who knows, maybe one day you'll be sitting at a table across the room from someone else. You'll have all your shit together. You'll make it look easy. You'll be 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, maybe 10 times more successful than them. And they'll look at you and think, oh, you're so lucky. You're so lucky. Look how easy it is for you. And you'll smile to yourself and you'll say, you know what? What got me here is not what keeps me here. And maybe you'll pass on this message to them. It's always worth it. I promise you. Every business owner I've ever worked with that's gone on to create increasing levels of success, they never regret it. It only gets better. You choose where to level out, but fundamentally, make sure you're leveling out at a level where you've got the degree of success that you need in your business to give you the quality of the life and the lifestyle that you want to have. And then just keep a little bit of backward pressure on that column, a little bit of climb. You'll make it look easy at that point, and you get all the rewards that you've worked so hard for. Just because it's tough now does not mean it's going to be tough in the future. It may continue to be a challenge for you while you achieve what it is you want to achieve in the future, but I promise you the rewards are waiting there for you. If you want to know how we can help you at Bigger, Brighter, Bolder to achieve what it is you want to achieve in life, go and check out our website, biggerbrighterbolder.co.uk. I'll drop the link in the descriptions of this episode. Loads of resources there for you, by the way, as well, to help you take your business to the next level. 6-figure fast track, designed specifically to help businesses that are doing 20, 30, 40, 50K achieve 100 grand. You can find that webinar completely free of charge at biggerbrighterbolder.co.uk/fast track. You can also find our upcoming events that you can attend to help you on your business growth journey. If you're starting out, we've got a group ready waiting for you. If you're doing that 20, 30, 40K, 50K, if you want to hit that 100K plus, I've got groups ready for you. And if you're already doing 100K, 200K, even maybe up to 500,000 or so, again, we've got groups with people just like you in them that are all on that same journey. It's a powerful, powerful environment to be part of. Now, probably more than ever, our members are absolutely smashing it. It's been really tough going for many small businesses over the past 6 or 7 months. I'm afraid to say it's probably going to be bumpy and lumpy for a little while still to come. However, that doesn't mean you can't grow your business and you shouldn't grow your business. My businesses are, my members are, and I want you to have that growth as well. So go and check us out and see if what we are offering you is what's going to get you to that next level. We're committed to ambitious businesses just like you to achieve the success and the lifestyle that you want to achieve. Whether you're starting out, building a business, or you want to scale that business, we've got rooms full of people ambitious just like you doing it right now. I will see you next time. Until then, as always, be successful.
Leveling up. Extreme business growth through raising your game. When what was once extraordinary becomes ordinary, you know you've leveled up.